Hi guys, this is Android Nub, and these are the best games of the week. First up we have Tabletop Racing, a 3D racing game published by Playrise Digital. This is a really cool racing game where you play some kind of miniature car in a big environment. The graphics are very nice, and the game runs incredibly smooth. There's lots of cars to unlock and you can upgrade your car. There's these championships to go through, and there's lots of different game modes. This game's kind of like a kart racer. You race against other cars, and there's power-ups to use. The controls are very easy to use. The car automatically moves and you can move left and right by tapping the screen, and you can also use tilt controls. Overall, this is a really fun racing game. Next up we have Exodius, Necklace of Heavens, a 3D dungeon crawler RPG published by Pixonic. Here's a new dungeon crawler RPG with pretty nice graphics and good controls. There's a joystick to move around and a attack button, as well as skills to use. There's currently 3 different maps, each of which have a lot of stages. There's no story or quests. Well, there are quests, but the quests are just to do a certain number of stuff like kill 100 skeletons. The combat's fairly good and interesting. There's equipment to buy and unlock, and there are in-app purchases. Next up we have Elementalist, a 2D casual RPG published by Tengu games. So in this game there's a big map with a lot of stages. There's kind of like a story, but it's not really like a really good one. You play a mage that goes through levels fighting monsters. There's a lot of different spells to use and new spells to learn. So the combat is kind of unique. To use a spell you trace the outlines as well as you can, and then your character attacks the enemy. And then the enemy chooses a spell and draws out his symbol, and when the enemy attacks you can press these shields to deflect some of his attacks. It's kind of unique and interesting, and there's lots of levels to go through, and this game is not too bad. Next up we have Ninja Legend Dragon Titan, another 2D casual RPG published by 36U Games. So in this game you collect units to add to your party, and you fight waves of enemies in many different stages. It looks like one of those puzzle combat games, but it's not. It's actually a slot machine game. Basically you're just pulling this slot machine and matching up the icons to attack. It's kind of interesting, but it does feel very automated. You're not really matching up combinations like a puzzle, you're just pulling this slot machine and watching what happens. But it's still fun collecting new units and stuff. Next up we have Tank Riders 2, a 2D tank game published by Polarbit. In this game you play a tank and you go through many levels, and the objective is usually to destroy all the enemies. The graphics are quite good, and it's also kind of like a puzzle game. You control your tank with a joystick and you tap to shoot missiles. You can also use a button to shoot missiles, but I think tapping is more accurate. So there's many stages, you just go through each stage, killing enemies. There's also some puzzle elements, and there's action gameplay that requires some skill and strategy. Next up we have Motocross Meltdown, a 3D motocross racing game published by Glue. First up you probably noticed the graphics in this game are very nice. However, this isn't a game where you can really control your vehicle and race around. The controls in this game are really simple. It's almost like a rhythm game. It's like you wait for these circles to go over this thing, and you press the button when the circle goes over it, and your guy just automatically drives, and his speed depends on how well you press the button. So it's really simple and kind of casual. There's different game modes and also a story mode. You can upgrade your bike and buy new bikes and buy new tricks. Next up we have Space Brothers, a 2D defense game published by Mountain Lion. So this is a pretty cool looking defense game. Basically you go through many stages. The goal is to destroy all the enemies and prevent them from destroying your ship. The controls are very easy to use. You just kind of tap and hold the screen to shoot. It all works out pretty well, and you do have pretty precise control on where to aim. You can buy new guns and weapons and upgrade your ship. Sometimes you get some power-ups to do some cool attacks. The gameplay is arcade-like, and it's a cool casual game to check out. And last we have Car Drive AT, a 3D driving simulation game published by Waldschrat Studios. So I think this game is supposed to be a kind of realistic car driving simulation. Most of the missions involve driving through tracks, trying to avoid knocking down cones. The driving is fairly smooth, and the game can be kind of challenging sometimes. It's an interesting game. It's not a racing game or anything. It's kind of like just practicing driving around as careful as possible, but also trying to go as fast as possible. Anyway, that's all for this week. And also GAMEVIL released a new MMORPG called Akasha, which was going to be on this video, but as you can see it was bugged to hell with all these white squares all over the place. But it looks cool. It has instance-based missions and action combat. Maybe they'll fix this white stuff later and you can try it out. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.